weight loss. Why does it feel harder after the first drop? You know, you get all excited, you get ramped up, and you get going. And then here comes that initial weight loss. Things start looking good and feeling good. And then bam, you end up in that middle stage. And it just sometimes sucks. Why does that happen? Well, we're gonna walk and talk about it today. Dude here, everybody, welcome to the channel. And I'm a man, a 54-year-old man on a weight loss journey, trying to lose 110 pounds or so. And the weather is nice. Look at this, we got stormy weather, beautiful scenery, and it's not 108. It's actually like 80. Like, it feels like fall. It's phenomenal. So let's dive into this topic. So you jump in there, you dive in, you get on your weight loss program, and you start doing it, and it feels pretty easy. You know why? Because you're excited. Because it's new. Because the results come almost immediately. Because 1 week of solid, well, let's just call it nutrition, because I don't want to say dieting, but 1 week of solid eating correctly or right will yield results. And you know, a lot of times those results come pretty drastically on the scale. 5 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 pounds. And I know what everyone's thinking. It's just water weight. Okay, like, you're probably right. Actually, you know, your body does retain a lot of water. So you start eating right, your body starts shedding that water, and you lose some scale weight. But then week 2, 3, 4 happen, and you're still going strong. And you immediately start to maybe notice a little something in the mirror. Maybe the little love handle starts looking a bit smaller. Maybe you've taken some measurements or pictures and you're going, I can see a little bit of a difference. Or you've, the clothes start to fit a little different. And you're feeling really good, right? In the beginning, it's the little wins, it's the victories, it's the progress that keeps you excited, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you going. But then as we creep along the journey, sometimes it has to be the consistency that pays off, and that may take some time. Sometimes you get toward the middle and it starts feeling like I'm doing all this work, maybe even the same work. Maybe I'm doing really good on that nutrition. Maybe I'm doing really good on those workouts, and things start to feel different because the immediate wins start to slow down. So as you approach that kind of that middle section of maybe your goal, you know, this is where repetition really and experience start to make the difference. Because the thing that you've taught yourself in the first, if we were to break it up into thirds, let's say, in the first third, right? The first season of the journey here, you've taught yourself that you can do it. You've taught yourself that, hey, if I do what's right, my body will adapt. I will get the results. And some of it could be a few easy pounds, like the water weight and things like that. Yeah, that's fine for those of you who want to say that. But in the middle, it's the repetition. I heard it said before, you know, Tony Robbins and blah, 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 a gazillion people have said repetition is the mother of skill. So the more we do something, the easier it becomes. And this is where you have to rely on your experience, because as some of the progress or the results slow down, when you start getting, you know, a 1 pound weight loss week versus a 5, it feels different, you know, mentally. And then sometimes you go, well, I'm still doing okay mentally, but I'm just not seeing the results. Or you may even gain, because this is actually the part where real life starts setting in. And let's face it, we all have a life, right? I know for me, things like traveling, you may be like me. Maybe you're a grandpa. I'm a new grandpa, and we want to go see those little babies, and so we travel and we go see our kids. Maybe you're like me and you're like a Disneyland freak and you want to go to the theme park and go hang out at Disneyland. We love it. Maybe you're into sports or something like that, or you like to go golf different places, or you like camping, right? Well, it's not always easy to make the best choices at some of those places. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've got videos that prove it can be done, you know? But that's when real life happens. And you're in it long enough that the initial excitement wears off, the progress slows down, and oh boy, does it become easy to slip. I think it's important to remember the beginning is what tests to see if you can get started and get going, and the middle is what tests to see if you can continue when it's not as fun. So when you hit that next phase, you know, that last portion, right? You're on your way to your goal. You've pushed through. You're learning how to continue, which I'm doing right now as we speak. That's the phase I've been in. I had great progress the first 3 months. It started getting harder, and I got lost, got off track. I gained 10 pounds back, and I'm happy to report today that those 10 pounds are gone. So that's good. I'm back to where I was. And you know, when you enter that last phase, you gotta view success differently. You know, success isn't going to be 5 or 8 pounds every single week or anything like that. You may have that lower week, that 1 pound, that half pound. You may be, you know, at some point your body is actually probably adding some muscle instead of, you know, losing fat. Everyone says muscle weighs more than fat. It's true, but in the beginning you're not gaining more muscle than you're losing fat. But toward the end, it's very well true. So when you got that last little hump, you just got to look at things differently. And maybe it's, hey, I just checked off another week and I didn't quit. You know, maybe it's I'm tightening up my nutrition. I'm tracking my food better or something like that. You know what I mean? You're sticking to your guns, sticking to the plan, and turning around. Walking and talking sometimes. Hard. Hold on. But if you're in that phase where it's starting to feel harder, you know, you just have to ask yourself, is it that my plan isn't working anymore? Or am I just in that part? Am I just in that stage where, you know, you're doing the daily grind, you're getting things done, but your body's just not adjusting as fast because you're leaner and you don't have as much to lose. And that's not a bad place to be in either. You just gotta stick to it. So I think the big takeaway is if you're in that phase and it's starting to feel difficult, you maybe just need to ask yourself, maybe this is the middle. Maybe this is the middle. Now, again, I don't know. I'm not really in the middle of my numbers. I still got like 70 pounds to go or something like that. Maybe even a little bit more to get down to 155, 160. So, but maybe you just got to ask yourself, like, or here's what I did actually. When I started stalling out, I reassessed, and I had some shoulder problems. I had some things that came up. My shoulder still hurts. It does feel a lot better, but I'm not ready to lift yet. So you just have to I took a step back and said, I'm going to walk every day. I'm going to really focus on my nutrition. I do intermittent fasting Monday through Friday on the weekend. And when I do eat my meals at nighttime, I do more of like a ketogenic, some would maybe say carnivore-ish, probably more of a meat-heavy keto diet with some vegetables and very limited fruits. Makes me feel good. My inflammation in the last week and a half, I mean, my face is already looking skinnier. This collar, I was noticing, if I were to button that up, I got a lot of, I got 3 fingers in that collar. Pretty sure when I started this journey wearing the same exact shirt, it was like, it's like this. It was pretty tight, so it's starting to look like I'm wearing my dad's shirt or something. But I reassessed. I took a step back. I stopped lifting weights for a minute, and I started walking 30 minutes every single day. I cannot get out here on these trails. I love this here. I mean, look at that. Do you know what that is over there? Way over there. That is Zion National Park. There's incredible views. I mean, literally, the worst part is you can see the houses down below, but I mean, other than that, like, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the weather is great. This is not a normal day in the middle of August at all. So very thankful that I could be out here today, because I hate my walking pad. don't like it. I hate it. So anyway, if you're in the middle, don't think you're stuck. Just keep going. If you really feel like you've plateaued, reassess, take a step back, tighten up the nutrition. Start maybe if you're not a calorie counter like me, I'm not. I really don't like it. I don't enjoy it. But I started taking pictures and building plates in ChatGPT, and that's helped me keep on track. And I definitely know roughly where I'm at as far as my protein intake, my calories, my fat, and kind of where my keto macros are. So, and definitely paid off. I'm in a good level. I'm at a 1.2 in my ketosis. My blood sugar is being excellent right now. So things are good. It's Friday evening. So I want you to enjoy your Friday night. Now, if you're in that middle, go get it done. Keep going strong. You can do this. I know you can. We got a great community. Leave a comment down below where you at. You in the beginning? You in the middle? Are you in that tougher phase 3 part, trying to get to those last few pounds? Leave a comment. Let me know where you're at. I'm here to support you, and we will see you tomorrow. Dude. Oh, dizzy. Oh, Nikes.